But the moment Trump's victory was announced, they supposedly looked at each other, screamed, "Let's get the heck out," and bolted.
Right now, and it has to do with Ellen. Ellen says goodbye, America. After the Donald Trump victory, she said her and her wife had enough and they left the U.S.
In a country divided, distressed, and drenched in Diet Coke, one woman said, "No thanks." Ellen DeGeneres packed her bags, clapped her hands, and fled the United States. Because of Donald Trump. Ellen had it all: a hit talk show, a mansion bigger than the GDP of a small country, and the uncanny ability to make white women cry with dancing. But just recently, a loud orange cloud rolled into the White House, and everything changed. Donald John Trump, real estate mogul and owner of approximately 4,000 red hats and zero humility. He entered the presidency with a Twitter account and a dream: to undo every law, every norm, and every sense of spelling we held dear. And Ellen wasn't having any of it.
They left the U.S., is that right?
Yeah, you know, we saw a lot of celebrities kind of making this declaration that if whether it be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, whoever won, that they were going to leave the United States if their pick was not the elect that won the election. And for Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia, that's just the case. We are being told that they have gotten out of here, and out of here as in America.
Surprisingly, Canada wasn't the final stop. Well, I guess you never know if Canada becomes America's 51st state now, do you? Even in the land of politeness, Ellen sensed the orange storm brewing from across the border. And so she did what any self-respecting rich liberal with dual citizenship and 3 British throw pillows would do. She moved to London, yes. The Queen of Daytime relocated to the land of actual queens. And even though the British monarchy was collapsing faster than Trump's legal defense strategy, Ellen saw promise: tea, crumpets, public transit that mostly works, and best of all, zero chance of running into a shirtless Kid Rock in a Bass Pro Shop. Though it seems like a lot of kids seem to hate Trump, so we might just see some young ones start to populate the UK.
What's the worst thing he's done?
I think he needs to stop threatening North Korea.
Why?
Because I don't want to get nuked.
Do you think he's smart?
No.
Why not?
He treats people badly, and that's why I don't think he's smart.
China, China, China. Here's your paper towels.
Do you think Donald Trump has done a good job in his first year as president?
No.
Why not?
Because he wants to put a wall over Mexico, and I love going to Mexico.
To kids, Trump isn't a political figure. He's just that loud uncle who says things that make no sense, yells at cereal boxes, and thinks windmills are a threat to national security. Children did not hesitate when asked about Trump. There were no political filters, no Fox News subscriptions, just pure, unfiltered judgment, and a juice box in hand. They noticed the strange cadence, the hand gestures, the endless repetition of words like tremendous and China. To a second grader, Trump sounds like someone trying to convince their mom eating 12 cookies was part of a long-term strategy. The way Trump speaks is a marvel to these young minds. They mocked pretty much everything: Trump's hand movements, flapping, clapping, pointing at invisible objects as if trying to summon alternate facts from a dimension where grammar doesn't exist. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on which kid roasted Trump the best. Long before Ellen packed her bags and left the country, Ellen DeGeneres had already made it clear. She had a sixth sense for Trump-induced nonsense.
Dory lives in Australia, and these are her parents, and they live in America, and I don't know what religion they are, but her dad sounds a little Jewish, doesn't matter. She ends up at the Marine Life Institute behind a large wall, and they all have to get over the wall. And you won't believe it, but that wall has almost no effect in keeping them out.
Trump hosted a screening of the movie Finding Dory. Trump said he actually related more to Finding Nemo because that was about an orange and white cartoon.
That same year, Finding Dory was screening at the White House, ironically as Trump was pushing to build a giant wall to keep out immigrants. Ellen, ever the tactician, gently points out that Finding Dory is about a fish separated from her family, trying to reunite with them after crossing borders. It was subtle. It was strategic. It was Ellen's version of launching a torpedo. Except the torpedo was animated, voiced by herself, and distributed by Disney. And with that, Ellen essentially told Trump, "Even the fish think your wall is dumb." Trump definitely did not like this at all, and is probably the reason why he finds Finding Memo more to his liking. Because nothing enrages a man like Trump more than being trolled by someone who's not even trying. Ellen just looked into the camera, smiled, and let a cartoon fish do the talking. And deep down, Donald Trump knows. The fish was winning. Now it's clear that Ellen doesn't like Trump very much, and she definitely did not want him on her show.
Yeah, if he would, be brave enough to come on my show, he would, I'm not going to say no to him because there's plenty I'd like to say. If he wants to sit down next to me, I have questions and comments.
Now Ellen is many things. A dancer, a comedian, a vegan who somehow still sells cookware. But above all, she is a master of passive-aggressive interrogation. And those questions and comments? Oh, they weren't going to be polite? They weren't going to be polite. They were going to be tactical strikes, fired from the safety of a beige couch. Her questions and comments weren't for discussion. They were for sport. Verbal gymnastics wrapped in daytime charm. Trump wouldn't be prepared. He'd expect applause. Instead, he'd get an elegantly wrapped roast, vegan, gluten-free, but emotionally devastating. Ellen didn't need him on the show. If he ever sat down, she'd bring the heat. But even though having this opinion, she still brought him along because Ellen likes to keep her friends close, but her enemies even closer.
That's all I got you, is that little tiny thing right there on your finger? Look at the size of that. That's how many carrots is that?
I don't know, I never think about it.
You don't think about carrots?
No.
I bet you do.
Other things.
I bet you know exactly how many carrots
I
it is.
do, actually.
See? And then the bracelet is...
Oh, that was a gift.
She didn't specify who gifted her the bracelet. Seems like Trump should be a little worried about her motives, though, because while Melania may have smiled, nodded, and recited the words "thank you" like they were written in her contract, there was something deeply symbolic about her dance with a military person.
We're speaking to the lucky Army sergeant who danced with Melania Trump at the Commander-in-Chief Ball on inaugural night. All eyes were on the strapping soldier who cut in on the president and gave the First Lady a twirl.
Melania smiled like a woman who had just been reminded of what it felt like to be seen. And Trump? He smiled like someone trying to remember which side of the stage he's supposed to walk off. Let's be honest, he should have known something was off. When your wife chooses to slow dance with a decorated soldier on live television instead of you, it might be time to rethink a few things. To the public, it was tradition, a moment of elegance, a nod to military service. To Trump, it was possibly the most threatening 5-minute waltz in American political history.
Hand-holding in public is something the first couple haven't got to grips with. Whether it's a searching little finger, a swat, or a hand pat, it's not as simple as you might think. The pair have shared a few less than passionate kisses in public. Perhaps it's because when they do lock lips, Donald goes and makes a big deal out of it.
I've got to get the lipstick off, is it on?
From day one, body language experts, and also anyone with eyes, noticed it. Every time she stood stiffly at his side. And every now and then, she looked at him, the way someone looks at a malfunctioning Roomba. Confused, mildly alarmed, but too tired to do anything about it. From hand swats, to no kisses, to just distancing herself in general. It can all be observed when she is with Trump. 1 second, Trump reaches out. The next, Melania slaps his hand away like he just tried to touch her fries without asking. This wasn't just marital friction. This was a public performance of the phrase, "Please don't touch me, you make my skin itch." Was it awkward? Yes, painfully. Did she think he was awkward? Certainly.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Kamala didn't hesitate. She leaned in and replied, "Does one of us have to come out alive?" It was more than a joke. It was a historic moment. A sitting U.S. senator casually implying that being trapped in a room with Trump might result in, let's just say, an incident. And Ellen, she wasn't just laughing, she was thriving. The cackle echoed through the studio like a joyful alarm bell, a sound that said, "Thank you for saying what every brunch table in America has been whispering since 2016. The kids are mocking him. The vice president's ready to square up in an elevator. Melania's dancing with strangers like she's auditioning for a new life. And Ellen? Ellen packed her bags, waved politely, and left the country. Because at some point, even daytime television said, you know what? We're not dealing with Trump. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, don't forget to check out our video on Oprah Winfrey confronting JD Vance.